اوكي، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. سيدي نائب الرئيس، سيدي المدير، أعزائي الزملاء، أساتذة وموظفي مدرسة الأخوين، أعزائي الآباء، عزيزاتي الأمهات، أيها الحضور الكريم، أقدم لكم كل التحية والتقدير، ونحن جد سعداء بحضور مراسم تتويج خريجي فوج 2021. سنبدأ في بعض دقائق، ويشرفني تقديم هذا الحفل المميز والمليء بمشاعر الفرح والاعتزاز. أيها السادة والسيدات، أتمنى أن تقضوا أمسية ممتعة، ويرجى من الجميع الجلوس والتزام الهدوء خلال هذا الحدث المهم جداً بالنسبة لنا جميعاً، فاليوم سيحمل معه حصاد كل المجهودات. Mr. Vice President, dear ASI Director, dear colleagues, ASI faculty and staff, dear parents, honorable audience, the program will start in a few minutes. This afternoon, I have the great honor of emceeing this dignified ceremony full of solemnity and emotion. So, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Director, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a pleasant afternoon. Honorable audience, please take your seats and observe silence during this momentous event, and also please turn off your cell phones. Now, I welcome Mrs. Isabelle Dux, the ever-smiling lady. You agree with me? Yes. So I welcome her on stage for a speech of welcome and words of acknowledgement. والآن أرحب بالسيدة إيزابيل دوكس صاحبة الابتسامة الدائمة لتقديم خطاب الترحيب والشكر. تصفيقات حارة للسيدة دوكس.
Thank you very much, Fatima. Would you please introduce yourself to the audience who might not know who you are?
I have been here for 14 years. How can you not know me? I'm everywhere. Okay, so I'm Miss Fassi Zedir Fassi Fihri Fatima. Fassi Fihri is my husband, by the way. But my students call me Madame, which is nice. And sometimes they call me Fassi, which is nice also. But sometimes they write my name with a U, and I become Fassi, which is not untrue. So as I told you, I'm a French debate and drama teacher at ASI, and I've been here for 14 years, and thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear moms, dads, and caretakers. Oh, what a happy day. We have come together to celebrate the graduating class of Akhawayn School of Ifrane 2021, and it is my great pleasure to stand here today as the high school principal, music teacher, and senior project advisor, honoring these students that we have educated all together. Yes, it takes a village to educate a child. In our case, the village is the little town of Ifrane, which compares to no other place in Morocco and probably in the world, with its Al-Akhawayn University up in the mountain forest. To the mothers, fathers, and all caretakers in the audience today, I have a very important message for you. The nearly 2 decades of waking your sons and daughters up in the morning, getting them dressed, preparing their breakfast, ensuring their backpacks are packed, driving them to school, checking their grades, delivering their lunch, giving advice to become a better version of you, shouting at them in moments of despair, helping them with their STEM fair project, explaining them how important their grades are, but secretly knowing that their grade don't define them as human being. Balancing your expectations as parents with the capacity of your child, complaining about the terrible teachers at school, handing your child the money so they can order food from For You, going to the parent-teacher conferences, being called into the director's office, enjoying the cultural evenings of ASI, and going to bed with the doubt that your child will ever make it to college. These 2 decades have come to an end today. Though it may not have felt like this all along the way, ASI and your family have worked together hand in hand to educate the young adults that will shortly walk on this stage to receive their high school diplomas. This class has made it literally to the top. Just a few weeks ago, the veterans of the class climbed the summit of Mount Tubkal over 4,000 meters up into the sky. Our PE teacher, Mr. Omar, guided them up in the mountain. He also trained, coached, and mentored them over the years in a variety of sports in which some of the members of this class have even excelled on a national level in Morocco. Mr. Larishi also accompanied the class and their way to the top, not only the top of the mountain, but also to the highest forms of math in their AP calculus and the important concepts of physics. Ms. Schillingsberg, our English literature teacher, shared a memory with me that goes back to the 9th grade, when the class had agreed that in order to go on the ski trip, every member of the group had to work together to raise funds for those who couldn't pay the full price of the trip. 2 days before the biggest fundraiser, some members of the class were still saying they just weren't going to show up to help because they were paying their own way. This was when Leila Del Pupo Messari and Lila Wurtzen had to read the class The Riot Act to get them to come to the fundraising event at all so that Ms. Schillingsberg wouldn't cancel the whole thing. It ended up being the single highest earning student-led fundraiser ever at ASI. Ms. El Hilali has guided this class through the centuries of history, so they will hopefully learn from it and finally prove that kids these days are ready to change the world for the better. Ms. Aragosa taught the class biology and chemistry, and when I see the students in their lab coats and the protection goggles running experiments, it always feels as if they have already become real scientists. A number of language teachers have taught the graduating class language skills in Arabic and French, which are present today: Ustad Abdelghani, Ustada Atiqa, Ustada Lubna, and Ustada Sumia, في اللغة العربية. Et Madame Fessi-Fihri, Madame Conz et Madame Trenou en français. Of course, I also need to mention the arts, because this is my matter, in which this year Ms. Leonard has taught the AP to the Art and Design course. We were able to see the stunning work of her students last week in the art show. Mr. Akuk, to whom our heart is going out, Ms. Tinachi, Ms. Neitelho, and Dr. Tenriri have all given their important input in the elective classes the graduating class have chosen. During the years, there have been friends and teachers, as well as directors, who came and left, and some left and came back. Some of them have already left us forever, but none of them will be forgotten and carried in our hearts wherever we may go. It is great to see that some of the class's past companions are present here today, such as former classmates Kendra, and Adam Ruji. Also, former teacher like Julie Reimer, who came all the way from the US, and Miss Linda Alimola, who made it up into the mountains from Rabat. Thank you for being here today. Now, before we dive into the letter of further memories and thousands of thank yous, I would like to share my appreciation for the unseen faces behind the scenes who have made today's event possible. Miss Hanan Bouslama. Without her, no graduate would hold their transcript in their hands today. Thank you, Hanan, for your sleepless nights in which you dreamt about entering correct grades into Zanzibar and woke up in shock thinking F, not F, D minus. Mr. Sharkey, who delivered all the important material to hand the graduates the diplomas today. Mr. Salim's never-ending support in printing and fixing our IT problems. Ms. Basma for her support in delivering report cards, transcripts from the printer to the office, from the office to the printer, from the office to the director's office to Hanan. I thank Ms. Fessi Fihri for accepting to rehearse and choreograph today's ceremony, as well as Mr. Kharoufi keeping up the tradition to read the Holy Quran for us. Thanks to Mr. Babnou, Mr. Qasimi, and Mr. Barqasi, the technicians of the building. We're having a live stream tonight, so everybody who cannot make it into the building will be watching it on YouTube. And last but not least, I'm thanking Mr. Khalid, who's not here today, but thanks to him, we're having light on stage today. So I'm thanking every member of the village who has helped to educate the graduating class of 2021. The time has come to pull out your tissues and bathe in your emotions. Let's welcome the 12 graduating students of Akhawayn School of Ifrane. Would you please stand up and turn your heads to enjoy the entrance
شكرا لك سيدة الدوكس على رسالتك، والآن يرجى الوقوف للترحيب بخريجي مدرسة الأخوين فوج 2021. فوج خريجي فوج 2021 المرجو الجلوس من فضلكم. المرجو الجلوس من فضلكم، وسنبدأ برنامجنا بالتزام الصمت من أجل الاستماع لما تيسر من الذكر الحكيم بصوت زميلنا وصديقنا الأستاذ عبد الغني خروفي. To start our program, let's observe a religious silence while listening to some lines of Al-Quran Al-Karim recited by our colleague and friend, Si Abdul Ghani Al-Kharoufi. Thank you.
السلام عليكم. قبل أن أبدأ قراءة القرآن أو تلاوة القرآن، لمن لا يعرفني فأنا أستاذ بدأت في مدرسة الأخوين منذ أكثر من 20 سنة، ودرست هؤلاء الشباب وهذه الأوجه الطيبة. أتمنى لهم كل النجاح، وأتمنى أن تتحقق كل أمانيكم أيها الآباء الأعزاء فيهم، وأن تفتح لهم أبواب النجاح على مصراعيها إن شاء الله، آمين. ومن فضلكم من الأحسن أن لا تصفقوا بعد قراءة القرآن الكريم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم أولئك هم الفاسقون. لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة، أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة، هو الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس، الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر، سبحان الله عما يشركون. هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور، له الأسماء الحسنى، يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض، وهو العزيز الحكيم. صدق الله العظيم.
صدق الله العظيم. شكراً أستاذ عبد الغني على إلقائك هذه الكلمات المقدسة. والآن أيها الحضور الكريم العزيز لنقف لاستماع النشيد الوطني. صدق الله العظيم. Thank you, Mr. Abdul Ghani, for your blessed recitation. And now, dear audience, please stand up for the national anthem of Morocco. فلنستمع الآن. تفضلوا بالجلوس من فضلكم. شكراً. فلنستمع الآن لرسالة شخص يحظى بالتقدير واحترام كبير من الجميع الدكتور ديفيس ستيفن عبد الله تريفاتن. دكتور تريفاتن اسمك طويل جدا، ولكن كما قال شكسبير قيمة الإنسان ليست في اسمه ولكن في أفعاله وسلوكه، والكل مسرور بعودتك إلى مؤسسة ASI. To inspire our graduates, we shall now hear the message of our most appreciated and respected director, Dr. Davis Stephen Abdullah Trevathan. What a name, Dr. Trevathan. But as Shakespeare said, what's in a name? Your value precedes your name, and many of us can testify that since you came back to our school, you made a big change, and smiles and serenity came back on each one's face. May God help you in your mission. Please give a round of applause for our much respected director.
Thank you very much, everybody. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillahi wa ashabu ajma'in. I just spoke to Mr. Mohammed Akhawayn about an hour ago, and I informed him that the students of class 2020-21 asked us to include in this celebration a moment of silence in memory of our ex-student, our brother, someone dear to us. So I would like to ask you if we could just hold a minute's silence. Could you hold the time a minute? I haven't got a... All right, everybody, please. So a moment's silence, please. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm not going to thank you for coming because I know, it's not a question of that. It's a question that you want to be here with these young people to celebrate a very important moment in their life. But I think that you're a very privileged group, very privileged. First of all, you're privileged because we're not allowed to allow many people into the room because of the COVID sanctions, so you're privileged in that way. But you're also privileged to be with this, and I mean this, that's not a word that I bandy about easily, to be with this very good group of people. Okay, we're not much in quantity, but I feel the quality in the air. We're not many, but I can feel you. So, again, I stress on your being privileged because, in my view, Class 12 is a very special group of people. And this is with no hesitation, do I say this, and with no affectation. They're special because, of course, today is the day of their graduation, but there is something special about this class. There's some kind of chemistry here that really works. Some sort of added value. Without exception, they are marked characters. They have, unique characteristics, each with a tone and quality of their own, of individuality. Collectively, the quality of the gel, as in gelling, is quite extraordinary. And they care and support for each other remarkably. Spending any time with them, and I wish I'd had a lot more time this year to do that, but coming in January, I just didn't have the time to engage with them as much. But spending any time with them, I had breakfast with them this morning, it's just so apparent, their care and support for each other. The other thing I'm really struck by is their maturity. Okay, I don't want to be patronizing, but they're extreme. They're young people. They're on the door. Well, they're adults for me. Now, I've seen this kind of thing over many years of teaching. I've seen this classes where the chemistry is good, and I've seen classes where the chemistry is not good. Sometimes you'll have very gifted individuals, and the class, for some reason, just doesn't gel. And sometimes you'll have classes with a mixture of very capable and competent people with those who are maybe with less ability, but it does gel. This time, we have a class of highly competent people who also gel, and it's quite something tangible. This class is tightly bound together and supportive and highly competent. The senior projects, which I saw a week ago or so, were excellent, absolutely excellent. They were a joy to behold. So now I'm going to turn and I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to try and keep both ways. So I'm talking to you now. I've spoken to you, so I've done my part there. You can be witnesses to what I'm going to say to them. I want to address the class itself. Dear students, my dear students. Take the microphone. Yes, sorry. I'm still learning. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to say something outrageous, something that is not usually said by someone in my position, but I just want to tell you that I love you. I love you very much. Like I said, I haven't been able to engage with you as much as I would have liked. Some of you I've known for close on to 10 years, and some of you I have met only recently. Those of the former part and those of the last part, you're the same. I value all very much. The first are as impressive as the last. So I want to just, seeing that you're going, and that hurts, I want to give you a few words to punish you for leaving. I'm not going to go on about the usual things about grades and competences and da-da-da. I'm going to leave those kind of things aside. You've had enough of that. You've had 12 years of that. Now I'm going to say some outrageous things. All right? So listen. Usually when we talk about something as being rational, we think, that's good. That's the right thing. Rationality is good. Logic is good. And when we say irrationality, that's not good. That's bad. Shouldn't be irrational. But I want to talk to you about being irrational in the future. I want to talk about you having elements of rationality, irrationality in your lives. And I want to talk to you maybe about something which we can call supra-rational. All right? Don't always be logical. Please don't always be logical. Sometimes be crazy. Sometimes be mad. Yep. Be crazy for other people. Do things for other people which don't make any sense. Be crazy with animals. Go out of your way to help a kitten or a cat or a mouse or whatever. Go out of your way. Be crazy. Be irrational. Extend yourself beyond being reasonable. Okay? And think poetically. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm suggesting that you walk around speaking in poetry but I'm thinking about poetic thinking, a poetic way of being, which is not exact, which is not precise, which is not calculative, but which is full of inspiration and creative. Aristotle once said, and this is very important, and this gives me a degree of legitimacy to say these things to you, these crazy things I'm saying to you. Aristotle said that no great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Einstein, very weird. Okay? Very weird behavior, very kind as well. And I'm not talking to you, I don't want you to get this kind of this madness in 10 easy steps, which you get off the internet, or by doing research on how to be mad. I'm asking you to be open and to be intuitive with the world around you and the people around you. So also be something which is described, something, I mean, there's something of this in the Moroccan culture. And I want you to reflect your culture. Those of you who are going off to the greater wide world, retain that culture. And there's something in that Moroccan culture, two things. One is something called Ibn al-Waqt, which is the daughter or the son of the moment. The daughter or the son of the moment. And to be the daughter or son of the moment, you have to be a bit crazy, okay? This also requires you to be an active listener and to be al-hudur, they call it in Arabic, al-hudur, to be present, to listen to the people who are addressing you, like me. But to be present and to be aware and understand what's going on around you, all right? Complete awareness and attention. And I'm not going to ask you to take on the characteristics of someone very well known in Moroccan culture, which is Sidi Abdurrahman al-Majdub. I'm not asking you to be a Majdub, which is a divine idiot, but I am saying to you that he holds a very high place in Moroccan culture, and his sayings are also very deep and full of wisdom. Give of yourself beyond reason. Give of yourself in times which you not expected to give. We have also, within the Arabic tradition, the famous Hatim of Ta'i, who was generous to ridiculously, madly generous. Have you ever heard of him? Hatim of Ta'i? If you haven't, I'm going to be checking up on you over this vacation. All right. Also, don't be cautious. Be open. Push yourself forward. But don't be stupid either. Don't be stupid. Be open to the moment and open up to what your heart tells you to do. Be kind in the face of meanness, okay? Be gentle in the face of harshness. The madness of Sidna Isa, of Jesus, in saying, turn the other cheek, it's mad. Yeah? The madness of many acts of the Prophet when he was accused of certain things or so on. And his being the opposite of what's expected. Be that. So, you are going to hear, if you take on this madness that I'm talking about, you're going to be hearing a lot of people saying, no, don't do that, don't be kind to them. It'll show that you're weak and they're going to step all over you, etc., etc., etc. I want to ask you to ignore that and to do illogical and irrational acts with a good heart. Thank you very much. Good.
شكرا دكتور تلفاتن على كلماتك الحكيمة. I apply to your wisdom, and I think I have been caring for a dog out of nowhere for 2 months near Dayt Lawa. So I'm proud of myself. Thanks, Dr. Trevathan, for your words of wisdom. Hope comes from the heart, goes to our hearts. Thanks a lot. والآن أرحب بالسيدة إيزابيل لتقديم خريجي فوج 2021. وبما أن جميع التلاميذ المتخرجين لديهم كلمة لكم، سنستمع لخطاباتهم الشيقة. وشكرا.
So I have the honor to introduce every speaker. Yeah, no worries, they will take off their mask. You will see everybody's faces, I promise. Okay, so I have the honor to introduce you individually to each member of this class. And I'll come with some fancy words, of course, first, because in our school's mission, it says that we want to educate them to critical thinkers. Now, let me tell you, once you reach that state, you curse them to be critical thinkers because they're questioning you all the time. So let me start with the biggest critical thinker, the valedictorian of this class, Leila Del Pupo Mesari. If you ever want to have an argument with her about feminism, come well prepared. But every man and every woman needs to be a feminist, and she can tell you why. Welcome Leila to the podium, please.
Let me just make sure I have my speech in order. Okay. Hi, everyone, graduates, families, friends, and guests. I've often pictured how I would give my last speech as an ASI student. Now that I must, the picture in my mind blurs a little. There are a multitude of ways I could go about doing this. So many to choose, only 5 minutes to speak. Still don't know what to say. I guess maybe I could start with the ubiquitous thank you speech, thanking my teachers who have performed the tireless effort of educating us and getting us to this moment. Thanking my friends who are the most wonderful, the most kind, the most loving group of people, some of whom flew across an ocean to be here, and all who have stood by me and without whom I don't think I would have made it. Thanking my family, who has always given me love, care, and support. And very importantly, the pair of the most amazing humans ever, my parents, whom I would be nothing without, to whom I owe everything, and cannot thank enough for building me into who I am today. I guess I could do a reminiscent speech. I could talk about climbing Tubqal and thinking the peak is almost there, and then finding out there were another 20 minutes to go, and then another 20, and then another 20. I could talk about the nail-biting badminton tournaments where ASI almost always won, and the injuries I ended up getting, because boy, I always got injured no matter the sport. Or the complicity in the classroom that unified us into one team, the class of 2021. Or I could write a funny speech. Oh wait, I'm not funny, at least not on purpose, so that wouldn't really work out. I could do a speech about everything I learned at ASI, about the invaluable knowledge and thinking capacities I acquired in school, beyond world history, the ability to view historiography critically, beyond physics equations, the understanding that physics can be an explanation of all that transpires in the universe, beyond painting, using art as an expression of social issues. Or I could write about how I'll miss this place, maybe not quite so literally Building 17, because ASI is ingrained as a part of me, not only because I've spent 12 years here, but because it has allowed me to grow and evolve into a person I truly wanted to be, and has prepared me for the next steps of my life. I'll miss it. So my goal in any speech I would write, as I first imagined it, was to not have any cliches. My whole idea was to try to go through the speech without saying, oh my gosh, I never thought I was going to make it. Or without saying, as Plato or Socrates or another famous, insightful person once said, and then start a quotation, because I did learn not to plagiarize. And without using common graduation tropes. But that doesn't seem to have worked out so well. As one of my best friends told me as I was very much procrastinating on working on the speech, being a cliche is the point of this speech. That's why cliches exist. They make us feel good, they make us feel happy, they make us feel satisfied. And that's what this speech is supposed to do as it wraps up 12 years of my life. Ended off on a good note. And even though a rosy outlook could be hard to picture sometimes, given the struggles we went through not only as high schoolers, but also as people living through a worldwide pandemic, the point of this speech is all the more important. It can be completely optimistic and cliched and make us feel good, because at the end of the day, after we walk off the stage, yet another cliche, there's a lot for us to look forward to. We're privileged here at ASI. We are privileged to have had an education that supports us as thinkers, researchers, students, and people as a whole. It allows us to seek to achieve our dreams, goals, and ambitions. I hope to use the education I've obtained here and the one I continue to pursue to make the world at least a tiny little bit better. And so, to finish off with one final cliche, it really seemed like the end would never ever really come. With the assignments, projects, papers, the list is unending. Until the end is actually here and happening right now. And we are quite literally at a milestone in our lives, and I've just begun to realize it. Thank you.
The next candidate in this class has joined the class in 10th grade from Fes. His name is Amin Lashkar. Amin is, let me try to say it correctly, the salutatorian of the class. Yes. And we're very happy to have him with us. We're looking forward for your speech.
On a Friday night a few weeks ago, I was sitting in my room when I was hit by a truck. No, thank God not a literal one, but it was a relevation truck. It finally settled down that I am done with high school. I will no longer be walking through crowded hallways, sharing the same schedule as my classmates. I do not have to fake my age online anymore, and soon enough, I will have to pay my taxes. I thought of the 17 long years filled with memories of me traveling across Morocco with the debate team, moving from Fes to Ifrane, and all the instances I spent memorizing the unit circle, when the Ottoman Empire fell, and physics equations. I was, and still am, scared of what the future holds. I'm excited, intrigued, and ready to see how the world treats me. As a person once said, I guess we will never know. However, what I do know is that I would not be standing here today if I were alone. So for the rest of my speech, I'd like to thank a few people important to me. Thank you, my father, Rabbi Lashkar, for sacrificing a lot for me. Thank you for always pushing me to be the greatest person I could be. Thank you, my mom, Nadia Lazrak, for always being there for me, making the decision to separate their children so we could have a better education. Thank you for doing everything you could for us. Thank you, Thank you, my brother Ayman, though despite our constant bickering and fighting, for helping me with schoolwork and being a role model for me. Thank you, my other brother Ryan, for always making the house lively. Thank you, my grandma Fatima, for always asking about me and being kind. Thank you, my other grandma Naima, for always inviting me to her house. Thank you, my aunt Sabah, for practically raising me. Thank you, my other aunt. Thank you, my other aunt Selma, for always being sweet to me and buying me gifts. And thank you, my grandpa, for always being happy and never saying no. Lastly, thank you, Mr. Dukes, for being understanding, caring, and pushing me out of my comfort zone. Thank you to all of my teachers for writing my recommendation letters, providing feedback and criticizing my work, and making me improve as a student and as a person. I could go on and on, however, to avoid boring you and because of the time limit, I'll have to end my speech. Thank you.
Oops. Thank you. I mean, you could have been irrational by wearing the shorts that you had for breakfast this morning. let me be irrational now, because the next lady who's coming up to the podium joined the class in 4th grade. And Maryam Benjeloun, you don't want to meet during the night because she'll cut you in pieces.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the chance to deliver this speech. It is an honor to stand here before you today. Thank you, teachers, staff, students, families, and our supportive director, Dr. Trevathan, for all being present with us today. You've all helped us shape us into the individuals we are now, and I can state with complete certainty and confidence that we would have turned out quite differently if it hadn't been for you. As classmates and friends, we have shared numerous experiences, both wonderful and bad, the majority of which we can look back upon and laugh. We've been through a lot in the past years. Despite the fights, we were always there for each other. I feel myself fortunate to have met you all and be a part of this great community we've formed. My first day at ASI was a real struggle for me. I could not speak or understand English. Whenever I would hear people having conversation, I would always wonder what they talked about. As years passed, I was able to learn the language, thanks to Mr. Healy, stood by me and gave his all to help me overcome my struggle and learn in all best possible ways. As I entered high school, things started to get serious. A bunch of assignments, homework, projects, AP classes, and even extracurricular activities. Everything was new to me, but with all dedication and hard work, I started to get used to them. Alhamdulillah, I made it to this day. We all made it. Moving on, I want to thank my family for always supporting me, which had made an enormous impact. My sister for always finding solutions for me when I'm in trouble, my brother for just being the best one could ever ask for, my mother for always being there for me, no matter what, and my father for being my only hero. I worked hard to succeed because you exemplified success and happiness for me. I had motivation since you were continuously encouraging and praising me. Due to your honesty and encouragement, I realized the importance of my high school education. I united clubs and squads because you demonstrated how amazing a team can feel and what it can accomplish. This family was my first very team, my first squad. You were always willing to help me and give me a hand and pull me up when I fell down. Your encouraging words and unconditional love gave me confidence and enabled me to do anything. Although I am graduating, it seems as if we are all graduating since we accomplished this together. Thank you for being there for me as I learned to crawl and then walk through life. I would also like to give a special thanks to Ms. Atiqa, Mr. Abdelghani, and Ms. Sumaya for teaching me Arabic, Mr. Bouhrous and Mrs. Aragoza for making me fall in love with science, especially biology, Mr. Anas and Mr. Bromley for keeping up with me in math, Ms. Schillingsberg and Ms. Daniels and Ms. Alimula for teaching me how to write good essays and communication skills and being the best English teachers. Ms. Hilali for giving me general knowledge about history, although it's not one of my favorite subjects. I appreciate all the efforts you put in those classes. Mrs. Idux, our high school principal, music teacher, and senior advisor for teaching me how to play piano and made it easier to learn. Mr. Salim for teaching me several types of martial arts. Thanks to him, I can fight and defend myself. Ms. Hadan for working so hard to prepare our high school diplomas. Ms. Basma for being a really good friend and nurse. Ms. Fassi and Ms. Kans for teaching me French. Mr. Omar for making all trips happen. Sports events for you and for your inspiring quotes. Winners never quit and quitters never win. I hope the school continues to produce great seniors and I wish them the best of luck. Thank you once again, and I look forward to hearing positive news from us in the soon future. Congratulations, class of 2021.
I mean, when you see Maryam, you really don't think she can cut you into pieces, but she can. Believe me. Okay, the next candidate is one of the veterans of the class who joined over 12 years ago, Mr. Amin Shikairi. The last time I stood with Mr. Shikari on this stage, he was singing with the choir, and he sang, "What a wonderful world." Please welcome Amin to the podium.
Dear parents, teachers, friends, and staff, it is with great pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us in celebrating our graduation, and I would like to say a special thank you to Dr. Trevathan, Ms. Edux, Ms. Fessi, and Ms. Hanan for their hard work in organizing. All right, starting off with my family, I would like to a special thank you to my parents and siblings for their continued support in my life. As most people, my parents have guided me through my life and have helped me shape who I am. My fondest memories are with my family, and moving on with this stage in my life, I will always cherish and value the stepping stones with they have accompanied me accompanied me on. I am extremely thankful for my parents and for their countless support and their hard work throughout my school career. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for believing in me. I would also like to thank my peers for making my high school experience more enjoyable. We recently hiked Chubqal and had experiences like those I would remember for the rest of my life. I would also thank the boys for all the fun memories we had together. A final thank you would go to my teachers. I would like to thank all my teachers for educating me and helping me become a better person. Thank you, Mr. Omar, Mrs. Hilali, Mrs. Chillingsburg, Mrs. Edux, Mr. Akuk, Mrs. Ali Mola, Mrs. Fessi, Mrs. Hanan, Mrs. Aragoza, Ms. Achiqa, Mr. Ustad Abdul Ghani, and Mr. Anas. Thank you, sir. Your lessons will be remembered. Class of 2021, we made it to the summit. Congratulations and thank you very much.
Now that I hear you, you might have sang, "What a wonderful world." But you didn't. Congrats, I mean. Okay, next on stage, we have Adam Dokmak, who joined the class in 9th grade. Adam is a great musician. You might not know, he plays the guitar and the piano. He's just always hiding behind his screen because that's where he feels much more comfortable to be creative. But once he produces a video, you're really stunned by his skills. Please welcome Adam Dokmak to the podium. We kindly ask you to switch off your phones. Would you please do this? This would be very kind. Thank you. Sing a song.
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you're all having a pleasant evening, considering that you're witnessing your children's or your loved one's graduation, a once-in-a-lifetime event. I'm not going to stand here thanking every single person that has ever helped me. That would simply take too long and would bore you to death. Instead, I want to share my experience during high school in ASI. First of all, I just want to appreciate the ASI community, including the teachers, students, and all staff members for always being supportive, educationally and emotionally. It really has been a pleasure. I've been at ASI for what feels like an instant. In other words, it's been an astonishing 4 years. Just on my singular visit in ASI in the 8th grade, I've made an unforgettable memory with some of my classmates. And after that, I joined in my freshman year and made countless of other memories. From our ski trip to Akhawayn to our recent hike to Chubqal. It's been real, everyone. My family first decided to move to Ifrane 4 years ago. I was too young and foolish to understand what was going on back then, but I simply wasn't welcome to this decision, because that would mean that I'm going to have to leave my entire life in the past and move on. Moving on was really tough on me as a kid, but I've learned to adapt, and currently I'm extremely thankful for my parents' decision to move here. It may have been one of the best changes to happen in my life. So to conclude my speech, I want to personally thank my mom and dad because they've always been there for me and mean the absolute world to me, as well as my siblings. More of that in private. Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you, Mom and Dad.
just already wearing these shoes, but it doesn't help anyway. Okay, next is the youngest member of the class in terms of years he has spent with the class. He came in 12th grade and joined us from Fez. His name is Naufal El Araj. And let me share this with you. His senior project was to provide charity to an orphanage. He did a great job. Please welcome to the podium Naufal El Araj.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for coming. As usual, before starting, I would like to thank all my classmates and teachers for their sincerity and all the support that they provided me throughout the year, as I have been able to be part of the 2020-21 senior class graduation. And I would also like to thank the school staff for their help throughout the duration of my situation since the beginning of the year. Today, I'm proudly here to share with you this speech as I came across multiple circumstances that made me accomplish tons of things. Thankfully, this year has been incredible in all aspects, and I got a chance to meet a lot of people that eventually became important friends, as well as teachers that helped me reaching the top over the course of this year. The start of the school year, nonetheless, was a bit complex, as I struggled to fit in conditions such as finishing missing homeworks, getting used to the program, etc., since I'm brand new here, and the fact that I entered at school almost 1 month after the start. I was afraid that I may not end up catching the schedule. However, as the time keeps passing by, I realized that patience was needed primarily in order to reach our goals as well as hard working. Gladly, I was able to make huge progresses, whether it was an online school or in-person school. In particular, in-person school, obviously, as it is much more worth it since you got a chance to discuss and interact with your teachers in case there are any misunderstandings. And I did it without regret. Even though I'm living far from the city of Ifrane, I could not let down the whole process simply because of the fact that school and studies are important for me. I also had a chance to study under a lot of courses that I unfortunately did not experience before, and thanks to it, I got a chance to getting myself more connected into the real world. On the other hand, there were other courses that plainly did not get my attention at first, but eventually turned out to be one of my favorites, therefore getting more attractive. Not only that, I've also learned a lot of things from the past ever since my first steps and my first day of school, starting with kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, and finally high school. One thing that I taught myself was that in order to purchase our dreams, and as we observe ourselves growing up, we don't have to do anything but simply act and educate ourselves. Most importantly, you don't have to pay attention to what the other says. Be yourself, focus, look, and build your own future. In conclusion, this year, alongside my other high school years, has been one of the most fun yet entertaining years I've ever experienced in my life. And I once again would like to thank the whole American School of Ifrane, including my classmates, teachers, friends, staff, and last but not least, my family for making all of this happening. Thank you very much.
I think the example of Naufal shows the best that we're a family that welcomes people, doesn't matter what, because he really only needed 1 year to be part of us. Thank you for joining us. Which brings me to the next candidate, who always used to say, "Don't worry, miss." And yes, I'm going to tell everybody. So in the beginning of the 12th grade, Hisham called me and he said, "Miss, I need to have PE class again this year." I said, "Why? What is the reason?" And he said, "I'm going to be a mechanical engineer. I need to be fit." Please welcome on stage Hisham Lamazi.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه الأجمعين. Hello friends, parents, brothers, teachers, and staff. I will start my speech with a very quick story that no one knows about, which is that at the start I didn't want to come to study at ASI, because I was scared since I only spoke Arabic and French. But now that I look back at the old me, I will say that ASI has taught me many things, like this language I am using right now. I want to especially thank two people who helped me learn this language, which is English, because I wouldn't have been able to speak this well without their help. Mr. Ray, thank you for helping me learn English. Ms. Alimola, I want to thank you for helping me learn English, and I also want to thank you for encouraging me in my journey, because I don't think I would have been that successful in my journey, so thank you. I also want to thank Ms. Jonesberg for trying her best to make me a better essay writer, and for being harsh with me in her comments to my essays, because they do help a lot. Thank you, Ms. Jonesberg. Ms. Hilali, thank you for teaching me about politics and history, since I learned a lot of new concepts in the classes you taught me. Ninth grade me would have never thought that I would be saying this, but thank you a lot, Ms. Hilali. Thank you. Ms. Battleton, thank you for helping me debate in a more argumentative way, and for helping us seniors with our events, and for also helping me give speeches more comfortably, just like what I'm doing right now. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Haragoza, for always trying your best to make labs possible even during COVID times. Thank you again. Mr. Anas, I don't know how to start, to be fully honest. But I want to thank you for teaching me and helping me become more interested in whatever class you taught me, especially physics. Since I wasn't interested in that class at all at first, but you helped me become interested in it, and thank you very much for that. Mr. Omar, thank you for taking us to trips whenever it's possible, and thank you for the life lessons you taught us seniors during the Tubqal trip. Thank you, sir. Ms. Kinza, thank you for helping us mentally and physically throughout this year, because this was a hard year to survive. Madame Fassi, merci de m'avoir toujours soutenu et de m'avoir toujours aidé à améliorer mon français. Ms. Dukes, thank you for trying your best to teaching me the piano, and thank you for helping us seniors with whatever we did this year. Thank you, Ms. Dukes, and don't worry. Mr. Travath, or Dr. Travath, thank you for always listening to us seniors and for always helping us. You're one of the kindest people I have ever met. Thank you, sir. Thank you to the boys, and to all my close friends for having my back and for helping me make some dumb decisions sometimes, which is normal. And I also want to thank my two brothers, Ala and Amin, for always having my back no matter what happens. And it's fine to lose against me in FIFA sometimes. And now I'll switch to Arabic. أستاذة عتيق، أستاذة سمية، وأستاذ عبد الغني. أود أن أشكركم جزيل الشكر لمساعدتي في لغتي العربية وعلى ثقتكم في قدراتي. شكرا. في هذه اللحظة التاريخية لا يفوتني أن أتقدم بجزيل شكري وعديم امتنائي لمن أحاطني بعنايتهما ودعمهما المتواصلان ومساندتهما المنقطعة النظير، والداي العزيزان. شكرا لتتبعكما كل خطواتي الحياتية والعلمية توجيها وتشجيعا دون كلل أو ملل. بفضلكما أعيش هذه اللحظة، لحظة تخرج وتتويج. أرجو من العلي القدير أن يطيل عمركما ويديم عليكما نعمه ظاهرة وباطنة، ويوفقني لأكون دائما الابن البار الذي تفتخرون به في كل محفل. شكرا لكما يا أغلى ما Thank you.
Thank you, Hisham. I'll finally say I'll not worry anymore. Next, we'll welcome on stage one of the most empathetic students that we have in this class, which is a great musician. So, Mr. Kabaj, I don't know where you're sitting, but after this ceremony, you need to buy the grand piano. There's no way around it. This investment needs to be made. Okay, please welcome Yusuf Kabaj.
The most crucial and helpful component which allowed me to be standing here before you today is my stress ball. Looking back through the years, I realized that I've had a stress ball with me all along. Since my first year in ASI, where I was anxious and nervous, trying to adapt to a new environment, to the 9th grade Ukemden ski trip, where I felt the stress and pressure of learning a new sport, to my many exhilarating experiences with MASAC tournaments that called for individual performance as well as teamwork and cooperation, to the many AP and pre-SAT tests, which were nerve-wracking to say the least, and finally, to our life-changing Toubkal trip, where experiences outside our comfort zone became things we wanted to explore and conquer. However, this physical stress ball you see here is only something I found a couple days before going on our Toubkal trip. The stress ball that has been through thick and thin with me is actually these people standing right behind me. These gentlemen and women have shown me the true meaning of friendship and support in times of need. As I squeezed and asked for support, they gave me relief. And as I threw them away, they always found a way back to me. But my classmates aren't the only ones who made up my stress ball. Friends and family who are standing in front of me today also have their own part in being part of my stress ball. An incredibly hardworking father, 2 extremely loving and caring mothers, 5 annoyingly amazing siblings whose smile and approval mean the world to me, teachers who pushed me to my mental and physical limits and beyond, and friends who made me grateful for the beauty and simplicity of life. And of course, to everyone else listening to me right now, I am truly grateful for you being part of my stress ball. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yusuf. If you'll ever give a concert, make sure that you invite me. I'm your biggest fan. Next on stage, another veteran of the class who is joining this class since pre-K. It is Muad Marzouk. Muad always impresses everyone by camouflaging that he's sleeping, but actually being very awake. So be careful what you say in his presence. Welcome, Muad.
Good afternoon, friends, family, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, and of course, the class of 21. Attention, there will be pop culture references and informality, so if you do not belong to the Gen Z, it ain't that deep, trust. Graduates, we made it. No more classes in progress, or Mr. Enes is inviting you to a meeting, although we all enjoyed his entry tickets. Jokes aside, I will miss the place and the community that is ASI. Being here for 14 years, I am beyond honored to have partaken in this community and honored to now be an ASI alumnus. From the detentions, skipping classes, hiding in bathrooms, sports trips, the sick room, trick-or-treating, or culture nights. ASI had it all, and education, of course. How could I forget that? When I see ASI, I would love if it was possible to add a P in the abbreviation, because it was the people who made the experience in the first place. For that reason, the people who have had an impact on me for I don't know how many years should be beyond proud, honored, privileged to be in this speech, even if I'm not the valedictorian, nor the salutatorian, nor the class representative, nor the student council, or the student body. Anyways, you get the point. Teachers, even if I dissed all of you in my own respective household, I owe a lot to you. Miss Alimola and Mrs. Reimer, thank you for the unforgettable back-to-back classes we shared and teaching me how to treat cats with care. Mrs. Schillingsberg, although I hated integrating every quote on every goddamn essay, thank you for making me the writer I am today. Mrs. Hilali, even if you told me that I will never become a politician, I will go out there and prove you wrong, but thank you. Mrs. Adux, thank you for opening my eyes to the fact that I am a soldier, but I will do better. And last, of course, how could I forget, Mr. Omar. It was you that made high school enjoyable with all the mass action trips, and even now, I can never thank you enough. Education aside, I would never have survived high school without the notable people that contributed to both my failing grades and the time of my life. The boys, Hisham, Yusuf, Doc Mac, Amin, and Usama, thank you for pushing me to boycott assignments, and I hope no one ever recorded our PSN parties. Big shout out to Mo, Ali, the champ. A mix of the light skin and the Mo look always had them swipe right, no cap. Tahir Anas, I would first like to thank you for making it on time for once, even though it was through a live stream. And being the brother who I shared everything with, from badminton to throwing eggs. Zuhair Rashidi, the real ballers can't hoop and you still got no bounce, but thank you for the competition. Mehdi Lasli, I will always have a better jumper than you, but thank you, Splash Brother. Salim Shafia, even though you're not here, we should have taken Samo to Fortnite championships, bro. Thank you for waking up at 8 a.m. to get dubs. Simul Hassani, thank you for being the best neighbor out there. My brother, Mu'taz, or better known as the Mouchas 17, I have been waiting 4 years to tell everyone that I was in fact the better FIFA player, but thank you for always sticking around. The Booyah family, Usama and Dream, thank you for making the summer the best time of the year, and those neighbors can still hear us ringing their doorbells. Last but most important, I would like to thank Abla Marafti. I know you don't like me saying your name, but Ghalbullah, I told you I'd say it. Thank you for being the person who made me grow every single day, and I'm forever thankful to have met you 8 months ago. Now, Mom and Dad, where do I start? From a young doo-doo to a son going to college. Thank you, Mom, for making me believe that anything is possible, for giving me anything I wanted, and more importantly, raising me the best way I could ever think of. Thank you, Dad, for being the role model I have been looking up for the past how many years and teaching me the principles of hard work. I will forever cherish the family you guys have raised, and thank you for making me the best-looking child. It's been real, class of 21. As street rapper Lil Baby once said, you can't just pop out and say you're the hero. You got to put on a cape on and save the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Muad. Please invite me to this, in the future. Thank you. Next on stage, please welcome a lady who's really hard to enthusiasm, Nassima Mousameh, who always used to be a little bit nervous to speak in front of people, but today she's going to rock it.
There's two papers.
This one?
No, it's okay. I'm going to do this without a speech.
Wait, we have time. This one?
No.
Don't worry, Adam. No, this is Nofel. This?
Yeah, this is part of it.
There we go.
And there's another paper though.
Yes.
Although all the confusion, I did make it, and I'm here giving a speech. First, I want to thank all of you for attending our graduation today. I want to thank my mom for her vital role in my life and for modeling what an independent woman truly looks like. You have been a strong influence in my life. Your support has been unconditional. Through holding my hand through preschool to now watching me graduate, thank you for being an attentive and present parent. I'm 100% sure you've listened to and responded to every word and sentence I have ever said, regardless of whether or not you agree, and regardless of the rate I was speaking at. And now, on to the very boring part of my speech. Sorry, teachers. There are 180 days in the school year, and we often forget to thank those around us, or we choose not to simply because it might seem cringe or inappropriate. Regardless of your opinion of ASI, I think we can all agree that ASI has imparted us with invaluable knowledge and tools for the future. To the teacher that went through our papers with a fine-tooth comb, Ms. Schellingsberg, thank you. We appreciate you, and so do our future professors. To the teacher that was relentless in re-explaining a topic, you reassigned the meaning of drilling something into a person's head. Thank you to the teacher who decided to diversify our classes with contemporary topics. You truly are the ones that change our outlook on life. Thank you to the specific teachers, and you know who you are, for allowing us to pose questions whenever, no matter the topic choice. Thank you for helping us choose what we wish to major in. You do play a vital role. To the teachers that take us seriously with issues that have been brought forward and make us feel like we are in a safe environment, you restore our hope and future in humanity. To the teacher that, I also want to thank my peers for your unconditional support and choosing to always be there for us regardless of whatever was happening. And while that may seem cliche and it might seem like a typical graduation speech, I can truly assert that my classmates have always been there for me regardless of the situation, and I think we can all agree on that. And lastly, again, thank you ASI for making us who we are today.
Thank you, Nasima. I told you you're going to rock it. Doesn't matter if the speech is there or not. Thank you, Nasima. Next on stage, we'll welcome the last lady of the class, who joined the class in 9th grade, and we haven't seen much of her this year because she chose to be mostly online. However, she did an amazing job of proving that she's already learned how to teach little kids English. Please welcome future English teacher, Sarah Ziad.
Which one is yours? No, it's, oh, here it is. Yes, it's one page. Sure. Honored guests on the platform, fellow graduates, and friends and families of the graduating class. Before I begin, I would like to thank each and every one of you for attending this special event tonight. I would like to say that I'm so very proud of each and every one of my fellow classmates. This year was not an easy year for most of us, but we all managed to pull through. I have made so many unforgettable memories with all of you, and it's going to be very hard to say goodbye to all of you all. 4 years went by very quickly, and I have grown so much in every way. ASI will always be a part of me, and I will forever cherish the moments I spent with all of you. There was a point in my life where I felt like giving up because of the stress and the work that I had to do. But then I told myself that you did not come this far only to come this far. All the hard work and effort that I have put into these 4 years have finally paid off, and I'm proud of myself. I have earned the right to stand here today because I proved to myself and proved to you all that I never gave up. So now, I would like to thank each of my teachers for all the hard work they put into throughout my 4 years of high school. Thank you, teachers, for not giving up on me, and thank you for helping me succeed in your classes. Thank you for giving me your time, and thank you for being patient with me. I would also like to thank the high school principal, Ms. Edux, for all her hard work that she has put into building ASI's community. Thank you for investing your time and effort. I appreciate everything that you have done. I would also like to give a big thanks to my parents for pushing me to become the best version of myself. I wouldn't be here today without them, and I am truly grateful for them. Thank you for being there for me, and thank you for standing by my side throughout the hard times. I learned so many things throughout my 4 years of high school, but most of all, I learned to never give up, and I learned to do my best no matter what. Thank you, fellow classmates, for your friendship and love, and thank you for welcoming me into ASI. I appreciate each and every one of you, and you all will truly be missed. I would also like to give a big shout out and thanks to two special people here tonight. One of them is Awati Faiz, who is a dear sister and friend to me. I love you very much, and without you, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you for making senior year unforgettable, and thank you for helping me with anything I did not understand, and also thank you for playing hide and go seek with me throughout the 10-minute breaks. I really appreciate you, sis. I would also like to give a huge shout out to another dear sister and friend, and someone who is very, very special to me and close to my heart, Najma Minzar. I would like to say thank you to you for standing by my side throughout the hard times, helping me, and just being the great friend and sister you are. So thank you very much. Finally, I would like to say that I wish every one of my fellow classmates the best of luck in their next journey in life. So here's the class of 2021. Thank you.
Yes, Sarah, you're so right. As a great rapper once said, I want to thank me. We need to be proud of ourselves. Coming to tall people, being it rappers or the last people in the class to speak, please welcome the tallest, the great, the Osama Bouya.
Hello, staff, friends, family, and many more. I chose to be last for a reason. I wanted to conclude this entire celebration leaving everyone with smiles. Wow, almost 14 years. 14 years of happiness, success, care, and love. The words to describe are endless. We finally made it, guys. The so-thought endless road of school and work is surprisingly already over. The fact that I get to stand here with my friends, family, to celebrate is a blessing. Thank you all for being here. I'm so happy to say that the school has taught me valuable lessons throughout my life that I will never forget and will use during my college career and life as a whole. In order for me to give a good speech, I do not want to repeat what my members have already said in terms of thanking the staff, as it will get a little boring, but I want to truly thank everyone on a personal basis that have been included in my life for making me the person that I am today. All of my teachers deserve recognition. Most of them are here, others aren't, but I really thank you all. Please excuse me for not mentioning any names, as it will take a long time, but I'm so thankful for all of them, one by one. On the other hand, I wanted to personally thank my family members. I want to begin with my amazing, cheerful parents, Karimat Darqawi and Mohamed Bouya. I love you both to death. You have allowed me to have an education which many don't have. I have learned and grown from your actions. I know that we fight many times, but to be honest, there's no other person that I would learn from when I do something wrong other than you guys. I'm so sorry for getting on your nerves, as I fully regret it to this day. You guys are my entire foundation and will be the reason why I will be such a success. Mom, thank you so much for teaching me the principles of life while allowing a safe environment for me to open up to you about any personal matter. You're an extremely understanding person who will do anything to make me and my siblings happy, even if it tears your heart. You're one of a kind, and I truly love you so much. Dad, I look up to you in ways that you can't even imagine. The height. I try to be just like you in many aspects of my daily life. You're the example that I go by on a day-to-day basis. As much as you can be very strict sometimes, it teaches me what's wrong and what's right. And without that strictness, I would not be so wary. You have brought strength and stability to our family, and you are never happy unless you make sure that we are joyful. I love you both so much. Ahmed, my little angel, you will grow up to be one of the smartest kids. I know your capabilities and how far you can reach for something that you really want. Your cuteness, care, and love for everyone is what makes you so perfect. My one goal that is set is to make sure to take care of you for my entire life, no matter what. You're one of a kind, brother. I love you to death. Reem, you're my older sister, and the respect I have for you is immense. Yes, we do have our scuffles here and there, but you're extremely special. You're the one person to satisfy any of my needs, whether urgent or not. You keep the humor alive in the family with your horrible jokes. But the endless Fortnite games have allowed us to get closer. I love you so much. باسدي وميمة كنشكركم بزاف على كل شيء اللي درتوا لنا ما عمركم ما كتنساوني دايما مهلين فيا راكم بجوج عزاز عليا اكثر من كل شيء كنبغيكم بكل قلبي وكندعي باش الله يعطيكم الصحة والله يحفظكم ليا بجوجية. I wanted to mention and also emphasize on two more important people in my life, Mul Hajja and Bal Hajj Allah yarhamhum. The care and love that those two people have provided for me and my family and I is so immense. May they both rest in peace. You will both always have your separate spots engraved in my heart forever. I wanted to thank my friends. Most of them are here today, others aren't. Some of them are right there. Some of them are with me. But all of you guys have your own personalities, and I really want to thank all of you, one by one, and I will make sure to do so after this speech. I wanted to also thank my special one, Salma, for always being there for me whenever I needed her. My class, this class is one of a kind. I am so happy and so eager to tell my children the fact that I had to study with this class and I was with this class, and it truly has helped me develop as a person and become a better person overall, and I hope that I have done the same for all of you. Of course, my leadership, which was something that I had done a lot of research about this year during my senior project, I hope I was able to give you and show you the ways of leadership, and hopefully some that you will use in your future life. Thank you for everyone that came today to make this graduation a wish come true, because without all of your fights, without all of your wanting for us to have a graduation, we would not have this. And I thank all of you so much.
Too much emotion, huh? Okay. So please, a round of applause for our excellent students. Very, very nice. They have grown up, you see. They are no longer children, but I'm getting shorter. Okay. So, thanks, graduates, for your excellent words, excellent messages of thanks, acknowledgement, and hope. We have learned a lot of things from your messages this evening. Thank you very much. شكراً على رسائل الشكر والامتنان والأمل، وأتمنى لكم تحقيق كل أحلامكم. شكراً. والآن هناك لحظات لا تنسى في حياتنا، ومن بينها تلك التي قضيناها في المدرسة أو عندما كنا صغار. فالآن سوف نشاهد جميعاً ذكريات المتخرجين مشتملة على صور ومقاطع فيديو. There are moments in our lives that are unforgettable. Among the most memorable ones are those we spent at school or when we were only kids. Our graduates have gathered some of the most significant ones in a slideshow and are honored to share them with you. So I ask you, please, to leave the stage to watch the slideshow. Thank you very much. Thank you. صور معبرة جدا وذكريات جميلة. Nice pics and nice memories. والآن أيها المتخرجين سنة 2021، هذه هي اللحظة التي كنتم تنتظرونها بعد سنوات من الجهد والعمل الجاد. توزيع شهاداتكم. I call graduating class to come back on stage. Mrs. Edux and Dr. Trivata.
Really quickly, I would just like to really thank Adam Dokmak for making this video because he put a lot of effort into this.
Graduating class 2021, please be seated. Graduating students of class 2021, this is the moment you have been waiting for, the culmination of years of effort and hard work. Now, it's time for the presentation of your diplomas. So, the confirmation of your graduation and distribution of diplomas will be done together by Dr. Amsari. Please be welcome on stage. Vatten and Miss Isabella Dux. You can remove your masks for a while. I suppose all of us are vaccinated. Oh, I am vaccinated. Anyways, I think we're not going to talk, so no problem. Thanks. I call on stage Miss Hanan. Leila Del Pupo Messari, our valedictorian. Sorry. Congratulations, Leila. A round of applause for our valedictorian. Second one, Amin Lashkar, our salutatorian. Congratulations, Amin. And now, Miriam Benjeloun Zahr. Congratulations, Mariam. Amin Shakairi. Congratulations, Amin. Adam Dokmak. Congratulations, Adam. Naufal Al-A'raj. Congratulations, Naufal Hisham Al-Mazid. Congratulations, Hisham. Youssef Qabash. Congratulations, Youssef. Muad Marzouk. Congratulations, Muad. Nasima Musameh. Congratulations, Nasima. Great job. Sarah Ziad. Congrats, Sarah. And last but not least, Usama Bouya. Thank you. A round of applause for our graduates. Now it's your turn. Dr. Trivatan, it's for you.
Okay, listen up, everybody. By the authority conferred upon me by the University of Akhawayn, I now announce that the class of 2020 and 2021 has graduated. Well done. Got your tussles ready? Toss those tussles. Go on.
Congratulations to our graduates 2021. A round of applause for our excellent students. And now, please, honorable audience, please stand up for the recessional. أيها الجمهور العزيز، الرجاء الوقوف للموسيقى الختامية. I'm sorry, I'm tired. الختامية. It's done. No, it's a minute. Don't move. We wait for the music.
It is a choreography. It's not yet time to gratulate your student, Mazel.
I tried. thank you, dear audience, for your distinguished presence and for being a great audience. Congratulations again to our students, your children, who are no longer children, but has entered the world of adults. I wish them all a good luck and a lot of wise happiness. أيها الحضور الكريم، لقد تشرفنا بحضوركم المتميز ونقدم التهاني لطلابنا وأطفالكم الذين لم يعدوا أطفالاً ولكنهم دخلوا عالم الكبار، وأتمنى لهم النجاح في المستقبل إن شاء الله، وشكراً جزيلاً. Hats off.
See you on TV, sunset shit done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hate and say we changed and look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. That was never friendly, yeah. Now I'm jumping out of Bentley, yeah. And I know I sound dramatic, yeah. But I know I had to have it, yeah. For the money, I'm a savage, yeah. I be itching like I have it, yeah. I'm surrounded 20 bad bitches, yeah. But they didn't know me last year.